Hi and welcome to day 5 of week 5 of training cycle 2 of 2021. Today was a decent workout overall. I really need to sleep more. I wouldn't say I was trashed physically. I wouldn't even say I was trashed mentally. I would say that I've had a rough week purely when it comes to sleep. Nothing else. Nothing else. If I would have slept 5 more hours every night, I would have been completely fine, A-OK, would have crushed the week. But as you guys know, online classes have started again. Online classes are probably better because I don't have to travel, so I can actually sleep more when I have online classes. So that's a benefit, but I'm still not sleeping enough. And, really the school shouldn't be an excuse, because the amount of time we spend on going to school isn't a very large portion of our day. Yeah, exactly, tired as fuck. I don't know how many hours I go to school. Let's just throw something out there. 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Probably like 6 or 7 or some shit like that. That's a pretty small portion of the day, to be honest. And to me, the idea that school is limiting my capacity to sleep, I think that's silly by me. Here are the facts, right? My days right now, I wake up, just want to fucking fall asleep again, sleep for another 1,000 years. That's what I want to do. I go through my whole morning routine, eat a bunch of food, whatever, eat a big breakfast. Then I go to online school. I don't go to school. I just do online classes or go to school or whatever. Then I finish school, and then because I'm lazy and I don't want to do anything during the school day, now I have to do a bunch of stuff after the school day, which also that might take 2 hours instead of 20 minutes, simply because I just can't focus, don't have the energy to. And technically I have the energy to focus, but don't want to put the effort in. And then I want to just bullshit around, and then I have, just because I don't want to train, and then I have to train. By the way, I was cheating with the legs on this rep, I know. So it's just a cycle of just wanting to be lazy and procrastinating all the time in all aspects of life, and just having to do all the stuff later in the day. Just, no, I'll do that later, do that later. Just, it drains you. All right. I don't know what the time is now. Probably past midnight at this point. And I've had to redo this voiceover like 6 times because I keep drifting off. I'm so fucking tired, but I think I'm gonna have to keep it this way because that was the story of today. Fatigue, man. I split up this workout in 2 parts. During the first part, which is the part you can see right now. As you can see, there's all kinds of light shining through the window. I've got decent amounts of energy. Feel pretty good. Fuck. Going through all the work, just doing all the reps, whatever. Then I went downstairs, ate sushi. Tried to escape training. Eventually realised that I have to finish my workout. Went back up to the attic and, finished all the training. Did my jump rope afterwards, which I never filmed that for you guys, but I do it. I have to make this fucking video. And when I say that, I don't really mean it as an insult to you guys. Because, I'm the one who chooses to make the videos. I might as well just delete my channel. It isn't your fault that I don't enjoy making videos a lot of the times. Because really I'm making these videos in large part for myself. I do appreciate support from people. However, these videos are made mainly for the purpose of documenting my training for the future. And yeah, but by that same token, people do watch these, so I can't just say anything in these voiceovers. And when I'm tired like this, my brain isn't working at all. I just want to sleep. I don't want to do this fucking voiceover. And my workouts are so long, man. They're like 17 minutes of footage. And trying to voice over that, that's almost a third of an hour of just pure speaking to the little microphone on my mobile phone. And just, trying to focus, trying to come up with interesting things to say. I'm running low on energy. Oh, I'm just trash, man. Physically, I'm not that trash, though. It's just mainly like, I just need to sleep. My muscles feel pretty good. Pretty much all of the difficulties I'm having in my training right now, probably like 70% of the problems, like, let's just say I got 2% weaker, right? 70% of that 2%, which isn't much, but 70% of that 2% is sleep related. And then like maybe 15% mindset, 15% food, something like that. So yeah, I need to sleep more, and tonight I'm probably going to sleep 11 hours or some crazy shit. Wake up really late tomorrow, do a bunch of schoolwork, whatever, and hopefully hit a deadlift personal record. Have to hit 152.5, says that in my program, so I have no choice. Obviously, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. At least I'm going to give it a serious attempt. So I'm going to try to deadlift 155 tomorrow. Those are the muscles I really feel in, by the way. Mid to lower spinal erectors. And that isn't good coming into a deadlift day tomorrow, to have fatigue there. But it's not strange, because I added the good morning in fairly recently, during the last 2 weeks. So obviously that will have an effect on the fatigue level in your spinal erectors. These rows also add fatigue in the spinal erectors, as well as the glute bridge. However, I'm trying to do a couple different things with the glute bridges in order to not work the lower back as much, or really not even at all. Obviously, you're always going to have a splashover effect. The glutes and the lower spinal erectors are muscles that are very close to each other, and similarly as you can't isolate the bicep from the brachialis and the radiobrachialis, you can try to make it more of a bicep movement, And it's the same thing with the glute bridges, although it isn't just about isolating a muscle to build it more. It's completely about it's a big factor in it is also the injury risks. And really I'm talking about posterior pelvic tilt and anterior pelvic tilt. Anterior pelvic tilt would be your Donald Duck posture, or your Instagram girl, butt flexing posture. That would be anterior pelvic tilt. And then posterior pelvic tilt would be the opposite problem. That's like a dog taking a shit. It just, rolls its ass under itself. And that's kind of what you want to do on the glute bridges, as well as on hip thrusts, actually. Both of those exercises benefit greatly from a small amount, a healthy amount of posterior pelvic tilt. 2 double overhand deadlift fails, just trash. Yeah. You want that posterior pelvic tilt because that creates a better angle for your lower back. It's a lot safer for your lower back, and you can actually it's more difficult for the glutes when you take out the lower back. So it feels better on the lower back, you get less injury risk, and you build your glutes more, which the whole point of the glute bridge is to build your glutes, alright? If you want to build your quads, do some other exercise, man. Do hip belt squats, do lunges, do hip thrusts. Actually, honestly, guys, I have never talked about this. I probably won't talk about this for another 2 years until I actually do the exercise. But the hip thrust is when you put your upper back on a bench, you put your feet on the floor, and you basically hump a bar up to the sky. That exercise, you've probably seen a bunch of girls do it. That can actually really build your lower quads. So I may experiment with that in the future. However, right now I'm using the glute bridge as opposed to the hip thrust. And the difference is the glute bridge, you're just doing it off the floor. Hip thrust, you're obviously I'm so tired. Ooh. Now I have a bunch of energy. Okay. Glute bridges, like I said before, I'm doing these on the floor, flat, like this, as opposed to putting my shoulders up on a bench. And by the way, that would be a different exercise. That would be the hip thrust. 2 sets of 10. Next week, I'm probably going to go with 3 sets of 10. We'll cap it off there. I don't want to increase past that point. Multiple sets on an exercise like this, it isn't really that hard in your recovery. But it does take time, and it is difficult, and it does generate fatigue. I'm so fucking tired. In the associated muscles, for example, the quads and the glutes. The first set didn't feel anywhere near as good as the second set, or the second half of the second set for that matter. And once again, it has to do with contracting the abs and not the lower back, in order to create that situation where your pelvis is in more of a anterior pelvic tilt position rather than in a posterior pelvic tilt position as opposed to anterior pelvic tilt position. That's what we want. We don't want that Donald Duck posture that puts a ton of pressure in the lower back, and it doesn't even work the muscles that effectively. It just increases the injury risk. Similarly to how going with an extremely wide grip on the bench press doesn't really work the pectorals more, but it massively increases the risk of tearing a pec, of injuring your pec. So it's the same shit, and I really need to sleep. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I should post this on YouTube, man. Hopefully I'm going to have a lot more energy tomorrow, because, like, even my nose is all congested. I'm trashed, man. I just really, like, ooh. If you put me in a prison cell right here, right now, you kept me there for 36 hours, as long as I had, like, food and water, I would probably sleep fucking 30 hours of those. Just sleep, 22 hours a day, 23 hours a day. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. So I actually forgot to put on the counterweights on the hamstring curls. Yeah, man. Forgot to put on the fucking counterweight on the hamstring curls. Like, how embarrassing is that? Brain function, 0. There are probably multiple chimpanzees whose brains work better than mine right now. I also forgot to put on the mat, which is just even worse. Yeah. We'll see if these reps went in clean, because if these were ugly on top of it, then I'm just disappointed in my, Yeah, that was bad. Fuck, okay. Hips are rising way quicker than the shoulders. That one was probably better, but still pretty ugly, man. Yeah, I'm disappointed in everything today. Disappointment. I'm really, really, really tired. So tired. I have no energy right now. No energy. No fucking energy. I'm going to have to re-listen to this whole thing to see if I said anything embarrassing as well, which that's going to take even more energy. Alright, I'm going to try to talk about the good mornings, and then I'm done, because, like, I'm fucking already done, but whatever. This first set was pretty bad. The other 2 sets, I figured out that I could take a wider grip with my hands, and therefore get the bar further down on my back, which, yes, that shortens the movement arm, and obviously that makes it easier. But it also makes it way more comfortable, because the bar wouldn't be sliding up my back and hitting the... I don't know if it's the collarbone, but whatever the bone is, yeah. I do believe you can call it the collarbone. The back of the collarbone on the back. That bone gets really compressed, and that's very uncomfortable when you have, like, a rounded edge on a sharp bone. That basically is like sharp on sharp, and it's uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. It's much Oh, fuck. It's way better to widen the grip out and to really rest that bar in the dense, thick muscle tissue that I've accumulated from all these fucking rows and all the power cleans that I used to do. So yeah, got to rest that bar on that grade A Swedish beef instead of resting it on a bone that just hurts. Yeah, these good mornings aren't perfect. I often go too deep down, I almost go down to 90 degrees. That was better. See that? I go down a bit too far, and then like I get that effect where I bend the back over, round it over, and the whole point of the good morning is just to build the muscle so I don't do that shit on the deadlift. But if I'm doing that on the good mornings as well, then obviously it isn't going to help my deadlift. So yeah, I'm just stupid at this point. Just have nothing, man. Oh man, just like I said before, Skeleton Thief took my skeleton, and the Grim Reaper took my soul. Have nothing left, man. No energy. Sometimes I feel like I should start drinking coffee. As you guys probably have heard before, I'm pretty opposed to drugs like, nicotine, coffee. I see coffee as a drug because all that's going to happen is you're going to get more energy short term, less energy long term. We don't want that. What we want to do is we want to sleep so we can get more energy. So that's what I'm going to do now tonight. Sorry for this terrible voiceover. I need to sleep now. Goodbye.